Hey guys, Rascal here. Welcome to another Rascal Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Planet 51. Now, this movie was actually known for a little bit, and then it just disappeared. It was made in 2009, and it stars Dwayne Johnson, Jessica Biel, Justin Long, Gary Oldman, and Sean William Scott. Now, the only other person I knew who knew the movie was Chloe the Hedge Fox when she used to use the characters in her videos years ago, like when we first met. But I haven't seen anybody talk about this movie since it came out. And the thing is, it's not a bad film at all. And here's why I bring this up. Recently, we've been going through a lot of our DVD collection. We've got like tons and tons of movies in our house, and we decided we're going to sell some of them because it's just like ones we don't watch anymore, or we don't like, or let someone else have it because it's just taking up a lot of room. And while we were searching through, found Planet 51, and I had forgotten that I even owned it. And had this movie for years. My mom bought it for me when I was little. And I've seen it apparently twice. I do remember watching it, but I didn't realize I already seen it more than once. And when I was little, I do remember really loving the movie. I thought it was funny, and I wanted to rewatch it because we decided to take a few stack of movies that we hadn't seen in a while and decide once we see them one more time, we sell them for good, so that way at least we got to know if we've really enjoyed them. So with Planet 51, I saw it not too long ago, and I have to say, it's even funnier than when I saw it back then. It really is. I kind of wasn't expecting much. I thought it was just going to be like, maybe it was funnier to me when I was a kid because that's how it was written or made for. But no, the movie is still hilarious. Now, explain the plot of the movie. Basically, Planet 51 is about an astronaut from Earth who lands on an alien planet. And this alien planet mirrors our planet in the 1950s. They have the old monster movies. They have the alien scares every single day. They have, of course, the white picket fence houses in the suburbs. They even like hint towards it getting into the 60s with this one character that is sort of a hippie one. It's pretty funny when you see it. And I'll read the back of it to you because I could kind of go all over the place with this. I got the DVD right here. It says, when Chuck the astronaut, played by Dwayne Johnson, lands on a distant planet filled with little green people, he's surprised to discover that we are not alone in the galaxy. But he gets a shock of his life when the residents of Planet 51 mistakenly believe that his presence is the start of an alien invasion of the humankind. Luckily, an alien teenager named Lem, voiced by Justin Long, quickly realizes that Chuck is friendly, and the two blast off on an adventure to try and return Chuck safely to his spaceship. Now, basically, the entire concept of this is that it's E.T. in reverse. Instead of the alien coming to Earth and human helping the alien get back to his ship before the government gets them, it's flipped on its head and reversed to where a human lands on an alien planet before the government can get him. And it really sounds like a pretty interesting concept. And the fact that they do so much with it, because it sounds like they can easily just make this the most simple movie. Oh, we'll just reverse the places and the same exact thing happens. Well, they kind of do that, but the thing about it here is that it works so much better because they really took a lot of time into making this little world. Like, they tried to get as much detail as they could get right about the 1950s. The whole planet is in a time warp. I think at the time, for this movie, the character for our Earth is insinuates either 90s or 2000s. And the planet is way slower in the time, so they're still stuck in the 1950s. As I said, you can tell by the monster movies, the lingo, the clothes, the style of the Earth, and their Earth in the town looks like a 1950s small town. And when you look at the bonus features, they really went into a lot of care into making it. They really want to make it like it was an alien world, not just, it looks like our planet, but little green men on it, and that's it. They really put a lot of effort into it. And it pays off, at least for me. And the design's actually not so bad. They don't make them completely human, but they're not completely alien either. They're just literally you could say green humans, but they didn't just get lazy and just make human models and then make them green as some antennas. They actually went through the effort to make them look like they would be aliens you would see in an old movie. And one of the highlights in here is that, you know, they'll have these floppy ears like elves, they have antenna, and for some reason the male aliens don't wear pants. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is. They even have in here, like, shouts to the other alien sci-fi movies, and they even have this running joke in here that the dogs on this planet are the xenomorphs from the Alien and Predator movies, and I thought that was a really great detail. Now, for the movie itself, like I said, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much because there have been some times where I watch a movie from when I was little, and it turns out to be not as funny as I remember, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But for here, the movie still holds up. And it made me change my mind about wanting to sell it or give it away. I really loved it so much that I decided I wanted to keep it. And the weird part is that no one talks about this movie anymore. Like I mentioned before, it had great reviews. It isn't like it wasn't a commercial failure because there was advertisements everywhere. They were pushing this really, really hard. Not forcibly, but trying to make sure it could get to every sort of audience. They had Happy Meal toys, they had a video game, they had interviews, they had tons of trailers, they had bonus features, they had, well, not limited to release, but they tried to get as many theaters as possible. They tried to do it towards Memorial Day and different holidays that had to do with summer so more people could see it. It was targeted for pretty much everybody. And the thing is, you know, it was big when it came out, but then all of a sudden it just kind of went away. They act like it doesn't exist. And it's a shame because this was a hilarious movie. And the key thing is that they really do well on the comedy, especially the banter between Chuck and Lem. You first think that it's not going to work. You think that it's just going to be kind of just the standard jokes and miscommunications, but they really take like the simplest jokes that you would see in the alien movies and they really flipped it on its head. They really made it hilarious. And one of the running gags is that the aliens have the same mentality as the humans think of the regular aliens. They think the humans are mind-controlling monsters that are going to come and take over the planet. And so they constantly think for a while that Chuck has mind control powers, levitation powers, and he somehow manages to trick some of the not so bright residents that he really is an alien with powers, but luckily he just gets into the dumbest people there that are on that planet, so it's easier to convince them. But I just think it's absolutely hilarious. The entire concept, the execution, everything about it is great. I do like all the characters. I like how they took all of the pieces of the older movies and applied it to here, an entire planet, and sort of like not a parody, but sort of love letter to those movies and bringing it to modern day. And like I said, the little creative ideas they have of making it look like an alien 1950s town. Everything looks like a crop circle. The xenomorphs being the dogs. And I almost forgot to mention that there's a Land Rover there they have stuck on the planet. And he acts like a Earth dog because they call it Rover, so immediately he's a dog for some reason. I don't know why, but he is. And his whole shtick is that they got all these aliens here, but instead of taking pictures of aliens and the stuff they got there, he's been programmed to only pick up rocks, so he only gets rocks and just leaves everything that proves of alien life. He just never does anything about it, and it's really hilarious. But, yeah, again, I really loved Planet 51 so much that I decided I didn't want to sell it, and I added them to my underdogs team because this movie should have been, it's pretty much, it should be considered a cult classic because it's hilarious. I think it's probably one of the best underrated and underappreciated animated movies I've seen in a while, and that's up there with Moon, Guardian of the Moon. If you haven't seen Planet 51, I definitely recommend it. It's hilarious. You'll love it if you love alien movies, sci-fi movies, of course, animated films. If you like movies that satire or parody or do shout-outs to the types of old monster movies, you'll definitely love this. It's just a blast from beginning to end. All the characters are really likable. The animation's really well done. The music's pretty catchy and fits with the time period they're going for. There's so much creativity. If I had to say one non-positive thing about this, and it's really a nitpick, Jessica Biel does the voice of Lem's love interest, Leia. Oh, I'm sorry, Leela. And she doesn't seem to fit. It's not like she's not trying, but it seems they should have had somebody a little more upbeat, and maybe, I don't know, maybe at the time they could have gotten Selena Gomez or someone more upbeat to do her voice, because she kind of didn't fit with everybody else. Everyone else sounded great. Hers was sort of on and off, like she needed more adjusting. But again, that's just a nitpick. Everything else, fantastic. Definitely recommend this movie. And if you have seen Planet 51, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. And if you haven't, go see it. It's hilarious. Go buy it. It should be really easy to get, or watch some clips online. It is hilarious. You will absolutely love it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.